Some people see the world as it is and ask why. Other people see the world as it is and ask why not. That is a paraphrase of a quote from Bobby Kennedy that I had been using years before I met Edgar Cahn, or as I like to say, my Edgar. And when I first sat down to interview with him to work on the Racial Justice Initiative at Time Banks USA, immediately after I sat for the bar for law school and I went to his law school, UDC, I told him that I was quoting him before I knew him. And he told me I wasn't quoting him, I was quoting George Bernard Shaw. And there a friendship was born. Now, to know me and to know Edgar, as I like to call him, my Edgar, you would have to know that we believe in data-informed analysis when it comes to engaging in systems reform. And so one of the many revolutionary things that he's done, besides Legal Services Corporation, besides creating Antioch, which became UDC, besides coming up with time banking, all of these things that he's done, besides all of that, besides revolutionizing the way in which we engage in clinical understanding and the very nature of how we sit for the bar as attorneys, all of that came out of the work of Edgar Cahn's brain. Besides all of that, besides the fact that he likes snacks, he unleashed me on the world, and I feel like my work is to continue his legacy. I call myself an Edgar Cahn baby. When I first sat down with him, and I wasn't one to necessarily network and engage in law school, that wasn't necessarily my vibe, but under him I became the master networker. Working together on the Racial Justice Initiative, I became the master networker, to the point where someone actually asked me to write a toolkit on how to effectively network. But with Edgar, I found a home. With Edgar and the space he created at Antioch and UDC Law School, at Time Banks USA, through all of his brilliance, he created a space where I did not need to be anything other than myself. And that all of the rage against injustice that I had a home. And that home was with him, whether I was working with him or whether he was pulling me to work with him after I left TBUSA. But the genius, the brilliance of Edgar are all the seeds that he plants and that he helps to germinate, and that he creates a space for people to decide that there is nothing that they cannot tackle. There is no oppressive system that we cannot deconstruct. There is no way that we cannot engage in the work of taking care of our brothers and sisters, taking care of our family, ensuring that we both think on the macro level, time dollars, and on the micro level, engaging with community. With Edgar, I learned that all of these thoughts that I had, all of these ways that I wanted to move through the world, all of it was rational, essential, and critical to moving towards a world that we want. Edgar was not about all deliberate speed. He was about change now. He was about playing the long game. He was about recognizing the divinity within everyone. And he was about standing up and saying, no, if I don't like the way things are, I'm going to create something new, something different. I'm going to flip this system on its head. And with Edgar, I learned that my entire career could be built around that framework. I could do it with pride. And I can know as an Edgar Cahn baby that I'm continuing his legacy in my own way. I love you, Edgar. Always have, always will, because I knew you before I knew you.